Hello YouTube, I've got another high ELO game here with the teams being Tristana, Hecarim, Taric, Caitlyn, Kennen versus Riven, Nocturne, Zyra, Zac, and Ezreal. So, should make for a good game here. We got the lots of high ELO people, bigfatlp, lots from Team MRN, and also scarra. We got lots of high TreeEskimo, lots of high ELO people here. So, should make for a really good team. Anyway, should make for a very good team game here. So, it looks like the lane matchups are going to be... that's kind of weird. Do we have an AP Trist? Anyway, it's probably Kennen or Tristana. One of them is going to be mid, one's going to be top. Probably Kennen top versus Riven. At mid lane, I think it's going to be... I'm not sure. This might not be a ranked game. Maybe these guys are just having fun, just because we got a little bit weird. But anyway, in the jungle, it's going to be Hecarim versus Nocturne, and bottom lane, I think we're going to have Ezreal, Zyra versus Taric and Caitlyn, and Zac is going to be mid. I don't know. There's a lot of shenanigans going on with this game regardless, but it should be fun, because there's lots of high ELO people. Not sure if it's ranked, but should be some quality play regardless. So it looks like this game is about to load, so... everybody get your party hats on, because this party's getting started. Okay, so let's get this all set up. So this is what I expect it to be, but it might be Zyra mid. I'm not quite sure what exactly is going on here. As far as starting items, looks like Caitlyn is running that Doran's Blade, Ezreal's running Boots Pots, and yeah. Still, my chat is messed up.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Where is my chat? I want to see the chat. I think it got messed up once. Anyway, we got a small engage going on. Zyra getting brought super low. We're going to back it up so we can watch that from the beginning. Sorry, I was tinkering with stuff. So it looks like Zyra is going to face check this. Caitlyn doing a little bit of damage. There's the Taric stun, doing quite a bit of damage. Nice Q there. There's the exhaust going down on this Caitlyn. Ezreal trying to keep pace with her, doing some damage. Moving a little bit too much there. He could have probably gotten one, maybe two more auto attacks than there if he had... microed his champ just a little bit more. So we do have a couple summoner spells down, including Exhaust for Ezreal and Exhaust for Taric. So both exhausts are down, but it looks like everybody's going to head back. It looks like Ezreal's just going to stay in lane, regenerate that mana naturally. So sorry about that. I want to be able to see the chat, and I don't understand why it's not showing it. I'll have to do some looking here. Anyway, it looks like Hecarim is going to be starting Wolves Blue, and it looks like the Nocturne's going to be also starting Wolves Blue on his respective side. Slightly behind schedule, though. But he's got a very fast clear time at clearing Wolves. So, should go fairly quickly. As far as the rest of the starting items, both of the top laners are running that Elixir, Fortitude, Ward, and Pots. Yeah, everything's pretty standard, so... and it looks like both teams are getting done with their blues right about now. And Nocturne's even got a slightly, even though he was a little bit slower to starting those wolves, he got it done quicker. So it looks like Kennen doing the early game pressure already on this Riven. But he does have that range, so he's just doing lots of auto attacks. Zac taking a ton of damage from this AP Trist. I assume it's AP. Where are you, Trist? Yep, AP Trist. Hybrid Trist? Interesting. She's got AP plus a longsword. Kind of interesting. Anyway, we'll see how they decide to play that. Depends what they builds that longsword into. So Scar taking some pretty strong poke. This is the first time I've seen a Zac in action so far. I actually haven't seen him play besides just a couple recaps of like his... just a couple of recaps of his spells and stuff like that, and examples of how he plays. Looks like Scar is taking a lot of damage, and down he goes, but oh, the bait! The bait on that stupid passive of his. I totally forgot about his passive. Too funny. He gets the first blood because she dived him under the turret. Oh, that passive. In case you guys weren't aware, that is Zac's passive. He kind of acts like a Nivea, where he goes, when he dies, every like 5 minutes, he can split into 4 slimes, and if any one of them survives, he technically survives, but at a lower health depending on how much health were between those 4 slimes. So it looks like Nocturne is going to be headed top here to gank this Kennen. That Riven gets brought incredibly low, and it looks like she is going to make it alive, but we're going to keep watching on this top lane just because I think this Nocturne is going to get the kill here. Let's see what Kennen is able to do. There's the level up. Manages to flash away from that fear, but the fear still barely procs, but Kennen's going to be able to get away just fine. And Taric and Caitlyn are being super aggressive at this bottom lane, so... But even though Purple Team did get that first blood, because Caitlyn is farming significantly better than Ezreal, we do see a slight gold advantage. There's a lot of damage going down on that Caitlyn and the Ignite. Taric now taking a lot of damage. Zyra is super low, so she needs to be careful. Double flashes on both teams, but now Ezreal is out of position. Flashes to the brush, and let's see if he can get away here. The chase is on. Caitlyn misses the Q there. Ezreal running. There's the Taric stun, and this is going to be a kill. Goes to the support. Well done, Taric. Well done. Hecarim coming in, going to be able to pick up this Zyra, so a little misplay there from Purple. A little too aggressive. Should have just taken what they could. Zyra doing a little bit of extra damage there to the Caitlyn before with that passive of hers. So we actually have quite a few after death passives here. So it looks like he is going to be going AP, and there's the initiate there, knocking him back and stunning with that W that Zac has. And all of a sudden, there's a little bit of damage, but unfortunately Nocturne takes 2 tower hits, gets brought incredibly low, and she really wants to do some damage, but the Zac is still way too full of life in order to do too much to them. So kind of interesting counter pick. I think it was supposed to be a counter pick since she has... Since Tristana has range poke plus that counter to healing, and Zac has so much inherent healing with his globules. Every time he lands a spell, he splits off those globules and gets a certain percent of his maximum health, and all of his spells cost percent of his current health. So he actually has pretty decent sustained health regen. So pretty good, solid start so far. Taric trying to do what he can to prevent this Ezreal from farming too much, and right now this Ezreal is almost 20 creeps behind this Caitlyn, and she still has a whole wave to go ahead of him. So a small engaging going down on mid. Zac doing a little bit of poke there, but that Tristana just preventing a lot of that healing, and Zac's kind of slowly killing himself, but it looks like he is going to be getting that Hex Tech Revolver here very shortly. It looks like we saw a small gank there from the Hecarim, or at least a showing of lane presence to scare off that Purple team, and it looks like Ezreal is going to be headed back, putting him very far behind. He is now going on 30 CS behind this Caitlyn, and there's the Kennen ult at top lane on this Riven, bringing him relatively low, but she manages to juke out that Q, and it looks like she is going to be able to get away there just fine. Back at mid lane, Tristana is actually considerably more farmed than the Scarra. Part of that is she is going to do quite a bit more with that high range, and the fact that Zac has to burn his health and collect those globes. I'm not sure what to call them, globs, whatever you want to call them. Those little green gooey things that pop off. I think they're called globs. I don't know. Anyway, Nocturne doing a little bit of showing of lane presence there at top lane. I think that was mainly what that was for, but maybe he's going to try and gank here. I think they realize that the ward is down, but Nocturne looks like he's going to try and play with this Hecarim in the jungle. Hecarim initiating that blue. Oh, we're going to back it up because I wasn't paying attention. There, Tristana has the AP Trist does have that incredible purse. Oh, she just used her Ignite. That's why she had AP. I guess it's just AD Trist. My bad. A lot of damage. There's the Ignite, and there's the ult. Manages to bring him down, and she gets brought pretty low as well. Hecarim pinging the crap out of this Nocturne, and now the Kennen is there to help. Riven comes in, but she is relatively low. But there's the stun. Lots of damage, and manages to pick up that kill, and now Kennen is on the run. Trist is there, but she is also very low, and this Riven could get a double kill if they don't play this quite right. Nocturne trying to poke a little bit there with the Q. Kennen is chasing, just needs one more for that stun, and then it could be bad news bears for that Riven. Back at bottom lane, blue team is still being incredibly aggressive here, pushing on this turret with all of their might, trying to prevent this Ezreal from getting too much farm here, forcing him underneath the turret, makes it a lot harder for him to farm. And now she is almost 40 CS over this Ezreal, and that is going to be huge. Absolutely huge. Like, she should almost have enough here to buy something significant like a BF sword, and while this Ezreal is forced to sit under this turret just because of the sheer difficulty of the lane presence. And once again, this Nocturne is just harassing the crap out of this Hecarim. I think he's got more solid sustained damage here just because of his ability to kite, but now he is kind of scared because he's brought relatively low. And let's see what happens here, and down goes the Nocturne there. I think he thought Zach was going to help a little bit, but Zach manages to jump away there and get pushed away. Sorry again, we're not. You're probably hearing the chat, and I'll have to figure out what's going on and why it's not displaying the chat here. And I'll do that before my next video, but it's just kind of weird that we can't see the chat. Last patch kind of screwed with my spectator mode apparently, and I just haven't gotten around to fixing it. My bad. So we'll have that for the next commentary. As far as items here, looks like Tristana is going to be going for that quick blade of the Rune King, getting that Bilgewater Cutlass, and Kennen's going AD. What? Oh my gosh. Everybody's going AD. There is the Zyra ult going down, and that Taric is taking quite a bit of damage, but he is getting brought relatively low, and Caitlyn manages to pick off the Zyra there with the ultimate, and now this Ezreal needs to fall back, and lots of pings going on that Tristana. I don't know. Weird. Wow, so many angry people. Is this Hecarim that's pinging all this? Jeez, and crow, stop with all the pinging. Oh my gosh, Hooch. I don't understand what's going on. This must not be ranked, because a lot of people are playing sloppy, and we've got weird comps. We have 3 AD carries, essentially, is what's going on here. We've got AD Kennen, AD Trist, and AD Caitlyn, which is a fine comp, but it's also super dangerous, and Purple Team manages to pick up that dragon. So, like, just to getting that much AD, like, if everybody builds a Thornmail or Sunfire or Randuin's, like, you're just going to get ravaged. But they are going to do lots of % health damage there with all these Blades of the Rune King that they're going to have. Like, you're going to have one on Kennen, and Caitlyn has that BF sword, so she's going to have a lot of just flat damage, going to be able to do quite a bit of damage here to these squishies like Zyra and Ezreal. And Ezreal is unfortunately so underfarmed at this point in the game that he's only got Zerker's Greaves and 2 Doran's Blades, while she's got a BF sword, and I think she's still got extra money. Yeah, she's still 300 gold ahead, even though she has that BF sword. Anyway, Nocturne getting his red poached there by the... I think he got poached. I don't know. It looks like Hecarim tried to play around there, and I don't know. A lot of weird play going on in this game. I don't quite exactly understand some of the motivations here. And Nocturne almost gets that ward, but not quite. Bottom not doing too much right now, but it looks like Caitlyn's putting on a little pressure. Kennen dropping the ult there on the Riven, but there's the ignites, and there's the Riven slowly gonna try and take him down, but there's another stun, managing to bring him pretty low, picks him up there with the Q. Very nice play there by Riven. That shield, man, that shield is so strong. Plus that stun. Like, all of her spells are just so strong. Even with the most recent nerfs. Anyway, Ezreal doing what he can here to avoid a lot of this damage. Ezreal absorbing the ultimate there from Caitlyn, and I think we might see a dive. Managing to root the Taric does prevent that dive from happening, and it looks like Riven is going to be forced back here by this Hecarim. And yeah, it looks like that purple top turret is going to go down here relatively soon. So Riven's doing a good job at top lane, and Caitlyn's doing a good job at bottom lane. For blue team, and Trist is doing pretty good versus the Scarra. Why is everybody pinging so much? Stop it. You're driving me crazy. Oh my god. Now I really wish we had the chat, just because I want to know what's going on and why they're pinging so much. There's the Nocturne ult on this Caitlyn, doing quite a bit of damage. Manages to spell shield out of that Taric stun, and here goes so much damage. The exhaust manages to slow down that Caitlyn, and now the Hecarim has joined the fray, and it's going to bring a lot of people low, and Tristana's there as well. Nocturne should be able to pick up. Oh god, that stun manages to save that Taric. And Hecarim manages to pick up both of those people there with a nice little spin to win. So now purple team is in a world of hurt at bottom lane. Like, all is lost at purple team. Zac is engaging on this Hecarim, doing quite a bit of damage. Tristana is on the way. And now Zac is taking quite a bit of damage, trying to do what he can here. But the Tristana is back, and there's the Let's Bounce. Gets forced into that passive state, but down he goes. Hecarim is a really good one for killing those, because all he has to do is spin. Those high AoE champs are really good at killing Zac, it seems. So like Riven will be another one of those that would actually be really good at killing Zac. Kennen with his ultimate, I think. I'm curious now. I wonder if his ultimate does trigger on those. Oh my gosh, Riven, you must be lagging. What are you doing? Trying to bait him in? Doing so much damage, but Kennen manages to pick it up there with a nice little play there with the auto attacks and that W. So, nice little play there by that Kennen manage. But the Riven also misplayed. She just stayed too long, overestimating her damage, but it was a nice attempt to bring him down. But unfortunately, she needs to play safer and get more kills just because her bottom team is so very far behind, and her mid lane is also relatively far behind. So as far as major items, looks like Zac does have that Spirit of Spectral Wrath for that spell vamp and the bonus damage to minion creeps. And it looks like Noct also has that Bilgewater Cutlass, so he should be doing a little bit more damage, especially once he gets that into the Blade of the Rune King. Trist has that Blade of the Rune King, so she's going to have a lot of damage, sustained damage over time. And it looks like that first top turret goes down. And it looks like the first bottom turret is going to go down here as well. So blue team has found themselves in a fairly significant advantage with a 5k gold advantage, but this Taric is slightly out of position with Zac on the way, and Caitlyn is also out of position but manages to net over the wall. And that Taric's still taking quite a bit of damage, but here comes the Tristana doing quite a bit of damage to that Zac. And there's the Let's Bounce, manages to pick up that Zac, but Taric goes down to that Nocturne, and now Tristana is on the run, manages to rocket jump away. Caitlyn trying to engage a little bit there, but there goes the Hecarim ult, and now Caitlyn is managing to shoot and move quite a bit here and forces that Ezreal back. Now Caitlyn is trying to shoot over the wall, but it looks like these two are going to be able to get away. So, once again, well played there by that blue team. Well played indeed. There's an Ignite going down on the Caitlyn. Nocturne ult. Riven manages to pick up that Caitlyn. And now Hecarim is in trouble. There's the Riven ult and manages to pick up the double kill. So nice play there by Riven. So even though purple team is substantially far behind, hopefully this Riven can carry to greatness. And there is the Tristana. Jumps in, picks up the Nocturne, and then runs away from this Riven. There's the Ignite, doing quite a bit of damage, but Riven still has that shield back up. Looks like she was waiting for Triss to come back into the fight, cut the distance stun, and then do lots of bursts. And this Zac is just having so much problems, and I'm so sad, because Scarra is one of the best mids that I know, and he does fantastic work. But it looks like he's just trying to play around with this Zac, and unfortunately is just getting wrecked. Because I'm pretty sure Zac is a dedicated either top or Zyra doing a little bit of damage there, managing to drop the bind, but Scarra taking so much damage from that Kennen ult, and now Zyra is chasing, but I don't think she's going to be able to catch this Kennen, so Kennen's going to be forced back, and Zac looks like he's trying to do something here. If he can get the jump in, but I think Kennen's going to be able to get away just fine. And it looks like blue team's going to go for this dragon now. And manages to pick that up. So, blue team now has a 6.3k gold advantage. So, that's a little rough. And with those 3 turrets down, a lot of that is on those 3 turrets. The Caitlyn just out-farming the crap out of this Ezreal. And, what was that alt Ezreal? TreeEskimo. You usually play fairly well. What's going on here? I don't understand. Anyway, Tristana farming away at these minion waves. Farming. And it looks like Hecarim does have that Spirit of the Elder Lizard now, so he does have quite a bit of damage. I really want to know why I don't have the chat. This is bugging the crap out of me. So, looks like a little bit of poke going down there at that mid lane. Zyra's going to be coming to support, but this is... Well, we're going to back it up because I wasn't paying attention to the map. Apparently, the Kennen got caught out of position. Did Noct just ult to him? No, because I would have noticed that. Just manages to walk up to him, fear him slow with that red buff, and Riven just cuts the distance, stuns, and takes him down there. Zac taking quite a bit of damage. There's the Hecarim ult, bringing that Zac super low. And now Zac is trying to run away, but goes down to the Hecarim regardless. So, womp. Down he goes. And finally, one of the turrets gets cracked for purple team. Riven trying to do what she can here to push and carry her team to greatness. But it's going to be rough. There is a 5k gold disadvantage. And there's the tower dive on the Zyra. Brings her incredibly low. Not low, dead. Brings her incredibly dead. And now blue team is going to get this tier 2 mid turret, while Riven and Ezreal are both whacking away at these turrets. Looks like Ezreal is going to be able to get this bottom turret, and Riven's going to be able to get this top turret, but they're knocking on this inhibitor turret. And there's the Nocturne ulting in on that Taric, and I don't think that was a good decision at all. Gets pushed back and just gets wrecked by this Tristana and Hecarim. So, womp. And there's the Zac engaging on the Trist, doing a little bit of damage there, but this Trist has started to outplay him, ults him away, but unfortunately he does have that passive back up, so manages to live. Zyra doing what she can to do, just a little bit of damage to that Trist, trying to force her back, but Trist has a lot of sustain now since she does have that Blade of the Rune King. And also, Kennen has that Blade of the Rune King now too, so we have a lot of sustained damage between the two. A lot of sustained damage. And Trist also has that BF sword, so she's going to start doing some pretty incredible damage. Ezreal ulting up the mid turret, trying to get as much farm as he can, just because he is so very far behind. Caitlyn farming like a boss here. Up to 177 creeps with a grand total of 7.5k gold, while this Ezreal is only at just under 5k. So, it looks like Trist is going to be able to get the blue. So, she should be able to spam just a little bit more there. Going to rocket jump all over the place. It looks like they gave that blue to Nocturne. Interesting. Okay. And Riven just wandering around, dropping wards and whatnot. So, yeah. Solid game so far, but purple is just getting outplayed so far. We'll see how it goes, because with a couple good engages, I think purple team might be able to make a comeback here, because they do have a lot of AoE damage and ults, just with Nocturne, Riven, Zyra, and I'm not quite sure exactly how good the damage is on Zac yet, just because I haven't seen him play too much. But so far, it seems like he's been relatively underwhelming, but that could be him just getting denied farm, because he is like 70 CS behind this Tristana, so that might be just what we're seeing, is that he is underleveled and underfarmed. But so far, his damage has been relatively underwhelming. But it looks like purple team is starting to figure out that they're all AD, so all of them are building these armor items now. There's the Noct ult on the Kennen. Kennen dropping the ultimate there to stun that Nocturne. But looks like with that Blade of the Rune King, he's going to be able to keep that Kennen slowed forever and ever. Kennen trying to juke back there, and there is the Taric trying to save, and now Tristana is in the fray, doing tons of damage to everybody, igniting and ulting that Riven. But Tristana is so very low. Zyra manages to pick up the kill there, and now this Taric is in a world of hurt. Here comes the Hecarim ult. Taric about to go down, manages to stay alive for just a little bit longer, but with the red buff there on Zyra, manages to pick up that kill. Riven flashing away, baiting that Hecarim into staying in for way too long, and down he goes. So now we're starting to see the power of that, or not the power, but the problem with that all AD team. That armor is starting to be super relevant. Basically, all of purple team needs to, not purple, blue team needs to build Last Whispers at this point, because basically everybody is going to be building chain vests. I think we're going to see a Randuin's here. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if that's on Zac. I don't know. Maybe he'll decide to go with a Sunfire or something instead. Oh, and there's the flash initiate there on the Zyra, and now Ezreal's just doing quite a bit of damage here to the Caitlyn, and Ezreal manages to pick up a much-needed kill. That was much needed. Because now his goal advantage is still pretty substantially far behind, but it's going to give him a little toehold in which he can hopefully draw on. And Ezreal does have that Glacial Shroud. It looks like he will be getting that Iceborne Gauntlet is going to be my best guess. So it looks like Nocturne is getting that Randuin's. And see, this is what I was afraid of, is blue team played very well at the beginning, with the exception of top lane kind of feeding that Riven just a little bit. And now Riven, trying to engage on this Tristana, using up all of her dashes, gets ulted away there. So that Tristana manages to live to see another day. But with this AD heavy team, they're going to have so much problem with all this armor. They basically all need to build Last Whispers, otherwise they're just not going to have any damage. This Ez is so very dead. So very dead. Sorry, I didn't even feel the need to commentate on it, because he just pushed out too far, didn't have wards, and Hecarim just trashed him there with Spirit of Spectral Wraith. No, Spirit of Elder Lizard, my bad. And that red buff just did so much sustained damage over time there with that true. And Zac managing to leap over that wall and escape the death. And it looks like Hecarim's starting up that dragon, and let's see if purple team decides to engage this, but they might just decide to let it happen since it is a 4v5. It looks like blue team's going to try and backdoor our turret there, and now Zac is bouncing around trying to do some damage to that. That was a weird flash. Anyway, trying to do some damage, but unfortunately he just doesn't have the damage that he needs. And now Nocturne engaging in on this this Hecarim, fearing him away, but Taric revealed himself, so forces that Nocturne back. And now it looks like blue team is mobilizing to try and take out that tier 2 bottom turret. So taking a quick look at the items, it looks like Hecarim does have that Iceborne Gauntlet. There's a nice engage there by the Hecarim, bringing that Scarra very low there. Zac getting brought so very low, and Zyra going down. And it looks like Zac's passive gets triggered yet again, but it looks like he will reconstitute there. Nocturne ulting it, doing lots of damage there. Taric manages to go down, and there is the Blade of the Ruined King on that Kennen, managing to slow and fear him back, bring him down, and now Riven is trying to keep pace here with this Tristana. Tristana should be able to rocket jump over the wall, should be able to escape, and now she is forced towards that bottom turret, and now Riven is still chasing. We're going to keep watching this Riven, because I think we might see a dive here. Look, MegaZero decides to back away from that. And Caitlyn trying to kite and kill this Nocturne, manages to bring him relatively low, unable to line up the ult there, and now it's a battle of the AD carries, and Ezreal comes out ahead just because he had more HP at the beginning of that fight. Ezreal ulting that top lane, trying to clear it out so that top turret doesn't take too much damage, but doesn't hit like a damned thing. TreeEskimo, your game is off, sir. Your game is off. And it looks like Hecarim doing a little bit of damage to that Riven, slowing her up. And it looks like he's got an incredible amount of sustained damage now with that Iceborne Gauntlet and that Spirit of the Elder Lizard. So, and as far as items go, it looks like Ezreal does have that Iceborne Gauntlet now. So he does have a fair amount of sustained damage, but he doesn't have, like, he has good poke now. AoE poke, but he doesn't have good sustained damage because he doesn't have IE, Phantom Dance, or any of those major items that you normally see on an AD carry. So, 'tis unfortunate, and Caitlyn does have that IE Phantom Dancer at this point, so she's going to be starting to do some pretty incredible damage. Tristana has that IE and that Blade of the Ruined King, so she has some pretty incredible damage. It's kind of weird how Zac oscillates, and it looks like he did decide to go with that Sunfire Cape there for that armor and sustained damage. And we'll see, it looks like he's going to be building a little bit more armor. Zonia's, it looks like, but we'll see. Riven trying to engage here on this Caitlyn, drops the ward, but is unable to catch up, and Taric is on the way. And now we've got a 5v3 here at this top lane. It could just because Zyra and Ezreal are still there, but they need to respond to this because it looks like we're going to see a team fight here. Oh gosh, be very careful, purple. It looks like blue team is going to try and force this turret down. And it looks like we're going to see our first true team fight here. So we're going to minimize this and we're going to see what happens. There's the Zac initiating there with a W and now bouncing around. There's the Zyra ultimate doing lots of damage. Down goes that Kennen, but Zac gets picked up by the Caitlyn, and now this Nocturne is on the run here. It looks like Caitlyn's going to be able to keep up with him. Hecarim manages to cut the distance, and now we have a problem. Riven manages to pick up that Tristana. Ezreal jumping over the wall, trying to do quite a bit of damage, but that Caitlyn is being defended right now very well by that Hecarim, and down goes the Hecarim though, but Caitlyn is going to be in a world of hurt. There's the barrier, and nice little play there by the Riven, and now Ezreal is starting to get some of that gold that he desperately needs. Nice little stun there on the Riven. Ezreal trying to keep up with there. If he had landed that Q, that might have been a kill, but it looks like he is going to be able to get away, and Ezreal ulting that mid wave is going to allow them to push just a little bit there, and there is the dive there. Riven getting stunned underneath the turret means she is going to take quite a bit of damage, but nice little shield there prevents quite a bit of it. So, and it looks like that's the end of that little team fight. Nice little team fight there, and the gold advantage is still in blue team's favor, but it is cut down to 2.6k. And this is the problem I was talking about with that all AD team. Like when you build all AP or all AD, you're going to have huge problems like this because all it takes is for them to stack AD and MR. And the problem is, like, you can counter that with like getting Last Whisper and Void Staff depending on what they're stacking, but unfortunately, like, none of them are doing this at this point. They're just trying to rely on the sustained damage of, like, Blade of the Rune King and Spirit of the Elder Lizard and whatnot, and it's just not enough for them right now. They're just starting to feel the power of that armor. The power of that armor. And once Zac gets Zhonya's, he's going to be, like, glorious. Like, I doubt he's going to have any problems, because he should be at, like, 150 armor if he's not at that already. What are you at, Zac? 201 armor at this point because he finished that Warden's Mail. So it's that effectively brings the damage that he would normally take down to 25% before armor pen or armor reduction or anything like that. So that's a little rough. And he's not even the tankiest one. He might be pretty tanky, like Nocturne. Let's see how much armor. He has 182, and we don't even have an Aegis yet. Like Zyra has a Zhonya's. She's going kind of AP support. A little bit of damage there going down on the Zac, but Ezreal absorbs that ultimate. It looks like we're teasing around another team fight here. Blue team trying to force this turret once again. And it looks like everybody's ultimate is back up except for Ezreal's, and Caitlyn's ultimate is down just because she just used that. And it looks like we're going to see another engage here. Zac trying to initiate with the W. There is the Nocturne ultimate bringing down that Caitlyn so very quickly. And it looks like Zac is just playing the role of tank initiator. Manages to trigger his passive, but it looks like blue team is in a world of hurt. And Hecarim is just on the run, but unfortunately he is going to go down. Zyra manages to pick up the Taric. Meanwhile, this is going on, and Hecarim goes down as well. And it looks like only the derp. Kennen manages to get away there, and purple team is going to be able to get a Baron from this. Going to be able to get a Baron, and I don't think Kennen can do anything to steal. His ultimate is down. There's an Ezreal trying to force him back, force him away, trying to prevent him from doing anything. Riven peeling off, trying to do a little bit of damage, and it looks like they are going to try and take this blue here. So it looks like they're going to give it to Ezreal, so he can spam like crazy. Ezreal still doesn't have very much damage. What's his gold at right now? He's at 3,600 gold, so he should be able to buy. That's almost a complete IE, I think. I think it's 3,800 gold for the full IE if you buy it raw. So probably farm a couple creeps there, and then he'll head back, get that IE. So, but we shall see. It looks like Nocturne does have that Randuin's, and now he's got a pickaxe, so he's probably going to build that into, I would guess, Last Whisper, but we'll see. I'm not quite sure what exactly he'll build that into. Last Whisper is definitely my best guess. And it looks like Purple Team's going to try and do Dragon here as well. This might be a slight mistake, but I think it'll be alright, just because Blue Team looks like they're trying to play defensive. But they don't have wards, really, so it's a little dangerous, just because there's only 3 of them, and all Blue Team is back up. But they managed to get away with it just fine. And now the gold advantage is in Purple Team's favor by 2k. And Blue Team, you need to build Last Whispers. Oh my gosh, you need to build Last Whispers, Black Cleavers. Like, Kennen has a Black Cleaver, but to be honest, it takes a long time for him to get that damage that he needs. Like, 4 auto attacks to shred that much armor is rough. Like, that takes a substantial amount of time for that to happen. He needs a Last Whisper to counter all this armor. He just needs it. Riven does have that Guardian Angel now, so she is going to be very difficult to kill now, just because she has a fair amount of AD there with that Black Cleaver, which means her shield is going to be very substantial, and with the Guardian Angel, it's just going to be very hard to burst her down. And it looks like Taric does have that Bulwark now, so he does have some AoE tank there. Tristana now has IE, Blade of the Rune King, Zeal, and it looks like a pickaxe. Looks like she is going to be building that Last Whisper. She needs that desperately, and it looks like, I would guess that Caitlyn is now building that Last Whisper, so Ezreal doing quite a bit of damage there, but now has that IE, so he is doing some pretty good damage. And Zyra has that second needlessly large rod, probably going to build that into a hat, not a Deathfire. And it looks like Purple Team's going to try and use this Baron buff to their advantage. There's the Zyra ultimate, doing quite a bit of damage to the carries. Nocturne ulting in. Riven manages to burst down that Caitlyn. Tristana trying to punch them away, but Hecarim manages to pick up that Zyra, but Hecarim is going to go down here, so we're going to watch this. Zac goes down to that Tristana. She manages to rocket jump away, but we do have a 3-4-2 in Blue Team's favor. So, not Blue Team, Purple Team's favor. So, looks like Purple Team is going to be able to get this tier 3 turret here. Engaging on this Taric, and it looks like he is going to go down here, and Tristana gets forced back there by the Ezreal, who is doing a very good job of keeping that Tristana at range, trying to abuse his range poke there with his Q, and down goes the very first inhib. But it looks like we got a strong push here going on this bottom turret, but it looks like it's going to go away just fine. Looks like they're going to try and take red, and little do they know it is down. So, excuse me, got a cough coming on. So, the power of an all AD team is bad. Why did they all go AD? So silly. So silly. Anyway, Purple Team, let's see, did anybody buy anything super substantial? Not really. Blue Team, nothing new. So, yeah. And it looks like Riven trying to engage her on the Trist manages to get punched away there, but it looks like she might get her Guardian Angel triggered here, and down it goes. Those double AD carries starting to do a little bit. It looks like she might be able to get away here, but down she goes, just getting caught out of position there. Poorly played by that Riven. And now Blue Team has a slight advantage here because that hardcore carry is down now. Like, Riven was the one that was very, very fed. And they are going to have an ability, maybe a chance to take down this turret. But we'll see. It is going to be a 4v5 underneath this turret. So we'll see how it goes. Zyra is headed back. And it looks like here it comes. And Hecarim engaging on that Zac, doing quite a bit of damage. Down goes the turret. So now it is just a 4v3. Caitlyn hasn't joined the fray yet. And it looks like Nocturne is going to go down. Tristana doing quite a bit of damage. But there is the ultimate from Zyra, doing tons of damage. And holy crap, look how much damage that Zac did throughout that entire fight. They're all brought incredibly low. There's the Ez ult, bringing that Caitlyn up pretty low. And Zac manages to W in and bring down that Taric. And now Ezreal is trying to force these guys back before they get that inhib. That inhib is so close to going down. Zyra manages to land the E there on that Caitlyn, and down she goes. And that might be game, to be perfectly honest. Having the AD carry down and Ezreal chasing. Oh god, Ez, you're in trouble. Zyra manages to come. Tristana punches her over the wall, and he is going to barely live. Oh my god, Trist, why did you do that? And it looks like Zyra's going to try and chase her down, but she might be able to get away. And I think we're going to see 3 turrets go down here, maybe 4. But we'll see. Looks like this turret might drop here relatively soon. If that one doesn't, this one will for sure. Looks like Tristana is just going to drop. Oh, Tristana is actually on the blue turret. So Tristana is going to be able to defend that, but I think this turret is still going to go down. It looks like Riven is going to try and dive her. with the help of the Zyra. I think Tristana's ult is back up. Oh my gosh, you are in so much trouble. Nice little bind there, but she manages to rocket jump away, and down goes the Trist. That's going to be bad. 2 turrets are down here. No, not quite. Oh, Zyra gets stunned underneath the turret. Riven forced to engage. And there's the Kennen ult, bringing him relatively low, but Zyra drops another really nice ult. There's the Nocturne ult coming in. Man, going to be able to pick up this Kennen, and down goes the Taric and the Kennen, and down goes that turret. So there's 2 turrets down, and here's number 3 going to be going down here relatively soon. Ezreal getting caught a little bit out of position. Hecarim forced to Ghost to try and keep up with him. Zac trying to do what he can to get away, but I think he's going to go down. Oh, there's the passive, but I think he still is going to go down. They managed to pick that up. There's the double kill. And now Riven is chasing after this Caitlyn with all her might, trying to pick her up. Oop! Zyra taking a little bit of tower hits there, but I think she is going to be able to stay alive. And there is the flash away, and the Riven manages to cut the distance, and now she is rampaging, and this 3rd turret is going to go down. There's the 4 turrets, as I predicted. I don't think any inhibs are going to go down. If they do, it's going to be because this inhib at middle is down. But Tristana should be able to defend this, at least partially, but this is rough. It looks like Tristana manages to pick up that Nocturne, and Riven trying to get down another inhib, but it could be her downfall. If she goes down here, that would be very rough. Manages to dash away there from that Tristana who ignited her. Let's see if she can cut the distance yet again, but I think she's going to be able to get away. Riven is just a very high mobility champ there with all her movement text with her Q and her E. It's just very hard to chase her down. Taric trying to head her off, it looks like. Nope, just warding. But all the inhibs are exposed. Baron is back up, so now blue team is in a little bit of a rough spot. They do have 20 seconds until that Nocturne is up. Well, I guess it's 25. But so they will have a little bit of time, but I don't think they have the opening, just because if they were to go do it right now, they would probably lose an inhib. And if for some reason they were to like lose the engage, it would be rough. But it looks like that middle inhibitor is going to come back up, and then we'll probably see this final Baron engage. It's probably one more Baron engage unless we see a double ace. If we see double ace, then it won't be a final engage. Oh my god, Zyra, you're out of position. Forced to flash over the wall. Managing to drop that ward just so that they can see if that if blue team is going to start that Baron. And now Kennen, you're just a tiny bit out of position. And this super creep actually might be slightly relevant. They need to kill that just so this lane doesn't naturally push as much, because super creeps, they like to push. Doing a little bit of poke there on that. And it looks like Zac is going to try to initiate. Manages to get down on the Caitlyn. And Nocturne ults in, just managing to bring down that Caitlyn. And that's probably going to be the game, but we'll see. Tristana goes down as well. Kennen is still in the fray. Hecarim getting forced back, but he is probably going to go down as well. And Taric goes down to the Riven. And it looks like Kennen's going to be able to get away. Where did this Hecarim go? It looks like he's running. Ezreal manages to land the Q and the E, and down goes Hecarim. That's going to be the game, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see either all 3 inhibs go down or both these Nexus turrets go down. So, I'm not sure quite what they're doing. Zac trying to engage on this Kennen, doing a little bit of damage, but it looks like Nocturne deciding to go for that inhib. They should really go for these Nexus turrets and just push for the win. And there's one down. And here goes the second. Okay, so this game is definitely over. Kennen can't defend this. No way. No way. Anyway, kind of a fun game here. A little one-sided there at the end just because of the team comp. That's what I'm going to blame this on, is that all AD team comp allows them to all stack armor. And, yeah, that's why I thought Tristana was AP and Kennen was AP. Because if those two had been AP, then they actually have a fairly balanced team comp. But my bad. Apparently, I think too logically. Derp. I shouldn't make fun of players that are more higher achieved in this game than I. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy watching this game. Please let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Feel free to tickle that like button, poke that favorite button. You know the drill. Hit that subscribe if you do like what you see. And once again, I'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.